Halo Shampoo presents the real inside story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Young lady, you've eaten all of Junior's porridge.
And busted his chair.
And slept in my bed.
Of course. I'm supposed to. I'm Goldilocks.
She's not Goldilocks. Her hair isn't pretty.
Let's wash it and find out.
Not with that. Soaping doll's hair. Halo glorifies it.
'Cause Halo shampoo's not a soap or a cream.
So it can't leave dulling soap film.
Gee, look at the suds.
If she's really Goldilocks, Halo shampoo will soon prove it.
Now, let's take a look.
It is Goldilocks.
Halo, everybody, Halo. Halo is the shampoo that glorifies your hair, so Halo shampoo, Halo.
Remember, soaping doll's hair. Halo glorifies it. Leaves it fragrant, dandruff-free, and wonderfully easy to manage.
So Halo, everybody, Halo. Halo shampoo, Halo.
Ho-ho!
C-A-M-E-L, yes.
How mild, how mild, how mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test, and you'll see. So mild, so mild, so mild that you're bound to agree. That Camel suits you to a T, to a T.
Smoke Camels and see.
You know, each week the makers of Camels send free cigarettes to hospitalized servicemen and veterans. This week's gift Camels go to Veterans Hospitals Boise, Idaho, and Topeka, Kansas. United States Army Air Force Station Hospital, West Overfield, Massachusetts, and the United States Naval Hospital, Quantico, Virginia. The Camel people have now sent more than 190 million gift Camels to servicemen, servicewomen, and veterans.
Well, this is it. Come on in.
Oh, pardon me, I got to open the door.
I'm here to get an interview for my high school paper.
Oh?
My, you're certainly better looking than people say you are, Mr. Burns.
Oh, I'm not Mr. Burns. I'm Bill Goodwin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
What does Mr. Burns look like?
George? Oh, for a man his age who's been through as much as he has, he looks terrible.
Really?
Yeah, very bad.
Oh, Bill, come right in, miss.
How are you, George?
Fine. Nice weather.
Wonderful. Say, George, this young lady wants to interview you for her school paper.
Oh?
Meet Miss...
Boggio, Geraldine Boggio. I'm a student at Chadwick.
How do you do?
I've looked forward to seeing you in person for a long time, Mr. Burns.
Surprised at the way I look?
Oh, no. Mr. Goodwin told me what to expect.
Well, you know me, always trying to give a build-up to the boss.
Yes. For a man my age, I look pretty terrible, don't I? That's the acoustics in here. Sit down, Miss Boggio.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll get right to the interview if it's all right.
All right.
I'd have to be back at Chadwick in time for my home economics class.
All right. Now, I was born on the east
Home
side of New
economics?
York.
Say, that's cooking, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. I was born
Well, tell
on the
me,
east
do you
side
use carnation evaporated milk in your cooking class?
Naturally.
Naturally. I was
And they
born on
tell
the
you,
east
of
side...
course, that carnation is the milk from contented cows.
Sure.
Sure. Now, I was born
And that
on
no
the east side
other
of New
form
York.
of milk has so many wonderful uses.
Of course.
Well, go ahead, George. This girl has to get back to her cooking class.
I was born on the east side. I was born on...
Carnation is great. Carnation is just good whole milk with nothing added but vitamin D. That's the sunshine vitamin. And nothing taken away but water.
Bill, Gracie would like to see you in the kitchen.
Oh, all right.
He's
Excuse
coming
me.
right in. Hurry, Bill. Now, I was born on the east side of New York. I got into show business. I was 7 years old. I joined a quartet called the Pee Wee Quartet. And every Friday night, we would go on amateur night at a place called Miners Bowery. One Friday night... Am I going too fast for you?
What?
Have you got what I said?
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Burns. I was writing what Mr. Goodwin said about carnation milk. Would you start again, please?
I was born on the east side of
Hey,
New York.
Miss Boggio, look. I've got a demonstration here that you can use in your cooking class. Now, carnation evaporated milk, just as it pours from the can, can be used instead of cream. It whips just like cream. Then, when you want milk, you just add an equal amount of water. Now, there you have milk that costs about 1/3 less than bottled milk. Isn't that wonderful?
I'll make a note of that.
Good. I'm sorry, George. I just got carried away again. Miss Boggio, you listen to every word he says.
Now, I was born on the east side of New York.
George,
Yes?
what kind of lifesavers do you like best? Wintergreen, spearmint, or peppermint?
Peppermint. Why?
Well, I wanted to know what kind you use. I'm making a hot mince pie.
I was born on the east side of New York. I started the show business when I was 7 years old. I joined
Hello?
a quartet called the Pee Wee Quartet.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Burns is busy right now. Do you think you could call back a little later? Yes, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, goodbye.
It was too noisy. I couldn't hear a thing. Would you please start again?
I was born on the east side of... I wasn't born at all. I just died. Kids can chat with. Now, look.
Prove it yourself. Here's a Q-tip. How can you prove your Q-stick is straight and true? Well, that's easy. Willie Hoppy, world's 3-cushion billiard champion, places his cue on the table and rolls it. A warped Q-stick will wobble and bounce. A stick that's true will describe an even arc. And now watch a champion use it. Now, Willie Hoppy, how mild can a cigarette be?
Well, I've been smoking Camels for 20 years. I know they're mild and they really taste great.
Yes, Camels are so mild that in a test of hundreds of people who smoked only Camels for 30 days, throat specialists making weekly examinations reported not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels. But prove for yourself how mild a cigarette can be. Test Camels for 30 days in your T-zone. Let your taste and throat tell you about Camel's flavor and mildness.
You got a very handsome daddy standing in the corner. Come on out here, Pop, so we can see you. Man, there's a good-looking fella, girls.
Thank you, sir.
Name, please.
Charles Rodemer.
From where, Mr. Rodemer?
Rutherford.
Rutherford, New Jersey.
Rutherford,
All right,
New
fine.
Jersey.
Give me a line now. Maybe I can't rhyme. You go away with an Anson set.
What is the best bread made?
This man's a bread salesman. I can tell you right now. Here's a kid who's in the dough. What is the best bread... I think I said something. I don't know what I said, but I think I said something. What is the best bread made? Wonder Bread. Is that what you wanted? What, you got a man from Wonder and a man from Bond? Well, both of these kids are in the dough. What is the best bread made? I guess I would have a bread if I were being paid. Okay? All right, let's see.
It takes a lot of special words to describe fully the brilliance of the new DeSoto. For example, the word safety. Bigger glass area makes seeing out front and out back of a DeSoto really easy. As for braking power, no car in the United States has bigger brakes, and it takes a slight pressure of your foot to apply them. Now, take the word comfortable. DeSoto, of course, is the car that lets you drive without shifting. And its seats are chair high, richly upholstered. Its steering is feather light. And now, let's take the word brilliant. For that best describes the sparkling beauty and clean, lovely lines of the new DeSoto. Yes, put them all together, turn to the letter D, and you get DeSoto, the car that you should own. Ask your DeSoto Plymouth dealer about the new DeSoto tomorrow.
And now let's pause for a moment and look at our program again. Stop? I wonder what Betty Furness wants to stop for. Let's ask her.
I want want to stop you from being fooled by some of the things you hear these days about self-defrosting refrigerators. Now, there are so many different claims that I think perhaps the best way to clear it up is for me to show you this. The one refrigerator in the whole world that never needs defrosting any time or any place. The wonderful new Westinghouse frost-free refrigerator. Now, perhaps you've seen this claim. Well, now, of course, there's no reason to defrost any refrigerator here in the middle shelves. Up here is where those words belong, up on the freeze chest, the only place in any refrigerator where frost ever builds up. But there's never any need to defrost any part of this Westinghouse refrigerator because it always keeps itself frost-free. Now, have you ever seen this claim? Now, what is the point in a refrigerator defrosting itself every night? Well, there's no point at all, because unless you're opening the door constantly, there's no reason to defrost the refrigerator every night. This Westinghouse frost-free refrigerator defrosts itself only when it's actually needed, the very moment that frost starts to build up. Now, here's something that I want you to see. Here's what happens to ice cream and other so-called automatic refrigerators during defrosting. You see, the ice cream melted, the flavors ran together, and then it froze up again. But now, look at this ice cream. In the Westinghouse frost-free refrigerator, ice cream stays hard and firm like this all the time, because defrosting takes place so fast that nothing in the freeze chest has even the merest chance to melt. Now, some refrigerators that claim to be automatic don't get rid of the defrost water, and then you have to empty messy drip pans of... Oh, dear, that happens so often. But with the Westinghouse frost-free refrigerator, the moment that frost starts to build up here on the freeze chest, the magic frost-free system goes to work. It quickly melts what little frost has gathered. The tiny amount of defrost water is drained off and is automatically evaporated. So when you buy a new refrigerator, why don't you get the most automatic one of all? The only refrigerator that is always frost-free. Remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
Here's a fine big shop, a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Wherever you go, you won't find better equipment anywhere in the country than at a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's. And by better equipment, I mean the most modern, the kind you don't find at every Tom, Dick, and Harry's service shop. Costly equipment like this saves you money because it enables the skilled mechanic at a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's to do a better job on your car faster, no matter what make of car you drive. In addition, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer believes courtesy is very important. So is the friendly smile, no matter how small the job done for you. It's your invitation to come back whenever your car needs service of any kind. Another reason why it will pay you to get your car serviced where you see this sign.
Camel, smoke Camel, Camel, and see how mild a cigarette can be.
Oh, Danny's used to lying, fierce and wild. But when it comes to smoke, he likes a cigarette mild. He says, smoke Camels, and you will see they're so mild. Camel, suits you to a T.
Camel, smoke Camel, Camel, and see how mild a cigarette can be.
North, south, east, west, no matter where you go, you'll find the folks at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers, the men on the sales floor, the servicemen, the girls in the office, all try to be fair, courteous, and helpful to you, whether you're interested in a new car or just a simple repair job. That's why it will pay you to drive in wherever you see these two great names linked together, DeSoto, Plymouth.
Make the Camel 30-day mildness test, and you'll know how mild a cigarette can be. Camels are so mild that in a recent test of hundreds of people who smoked only Camels for 30 days, noted throat specialists making weekly examinations reported not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels. But test Camels yourself in your T-zone. See if you don't agree that Camels are the mildest, best-tasting cigarettes you ever smoked.
Every week in the year, the Camel people send gift cigarettes to servicemen's and veterans' hospitals. This week, Camels go to Veterans Hospitals, Coatesville, Pennsylvania, and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. United States Army Oliver General Hospital, Augusta, Georgia, and the United States Naval Hospital, Charleston, South Carolina. The Camel people have now sent more than 190 million free Camels to servicemen, servicewomen, and veterans.
Now that you've seen part one of the Willow Cabin, let's turn to our Westinghouse program. This calls for a close-up. I'll say it does. It's right out of the old family album. But how can we get a close-up?
Well, if you have a Westinghouse television set, it's very simple.
Whenever you get a picture that calls for a close-up, just turn the knob of that amazing new invention, the Westinghouse electronic magnifier.
And there. You're so close, you feel that you could almost reach out and remove this false mustache. Only a Westinghouse set has this wonderful new electronic magnifier. And here's the knob that controls it. Now, let's see exactly what happens when you're watching a television screen and you turn on the electronic magnifier. Let's suppose that you're watching a couple of wrestlers and you'd like to see them closer. Just turn the electronic magnifier knob.
And presto, you've got a ringside seat at the match. A wonderful advantage, isn't it?
Yes. And only a Westinghouse set has this amazing electronic magnifier. And this set also has a built-in antenna. That means in many localities there are no installation costs. And this set also has Westinghouse synchro tuning. Now that means that when you tune in for the best sound, you don't get a so-called picture like this.
And when you tune in for the best picture, you don't get sound like this. Because Westinghouse synchro tuning tunes in the best sound and the best picture together automatically. Yes, you'll find this Westinghouse set so easy to enjoy. The smoothest operating television you can get today.
And remember, with the electronic magnifier, this Westinghouse 12.5-inch set gives you big picture television at small picture price. It costs only $259.95, and you can buy it on a small down payment plan. See it at your Westinghouse dealers tomorrow.
Now, have you meet our honor mother?
Here's a friendly warning for you. You'd better hurry if you want to take advantage of Double Danderine's great 2-in-1 sale.
All right, speaking of 2-in-1 sales, again, I want to say, and I'll keep repeating this and repeating until you folks get down to those drug counters, I need two of us to talk about this 2-in-1 sale. Now, if you can bear up with it, we have two Denny Jameses. They're both the same size and both just as horrible. You all set? All right, he's all here with me, so both of us are saying in unison, look, it's Double Danderine. It's a 2-in-1 sale, a regular 70-cent value for only 47 cents. Two 35-cent bottles of Double Danderine for only 47 cents, so act quickly. As thousands of men and women know from experience, Double Danderine is unlike ordinary preparations that really remove loose dandruff. Double Danderine, you see, kills the germ Pityros Pormo on contact, and it's been revealed by outstanding authorities that this germ is the cause of most common kind of dandruff. Because Double Danderine destroys it, it gives you the real dandruff relief you want, even in some of the most severe cases of dandruff. Results with Double Danderine have been remarkable. So remember, Mother, Double Danderine's special 2-in-1 sale is being made for a limited time only, so don't wait. Today or tonight, sure, go to any drug or toilet goods counter and get two regular 35-cent bottles of Double Danderine for only 47 cents. Don't forget now, the name is Double Danderine. And it comes time now to meet our honor mother for today, a girl that's done an awful lot in the way of vocalizations, the concert and opera singer.
This is your town crier, Bill Baldwin. Edgar Bergen will be back in just a moment. We all here wish you a very pleasant Thanksgiving Day and remind you, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere.
In the Adventures of Buster, I'd like to bring you a very personal and special message from your Studebaker dealer.
He would like very, very much to have you come in and try for yourself the wonderful, wonderful ride that's the most outstanding feature of this new 1950 Studebaker. You see, the advanced design of this Studebaker is more than just a breathtaking flight stream design. It's a sound engineering improvement as well. Now, these low, low lines and those airliner contours make possible new achievements in weight balance, as well as the elimination of any excess bulky structural weight and the cutting down of air resistance. Now, that all adds up to just about the smoothest, sweetest ride you've ever found in any car. And your Studebaker dealer wants you to come in and try it for yourself. Yes, Studebaker would like to have you come in to any of its dealers in Los Angeles County tomorrow or this weekend without the slightest obligation on your part and try the 50 Studebaker. And bring your family. They'll love it too. Or phone your Studebaker dealer and he'll be glad to bring a new Studebaker right out to you. And oh yes, by the way, with Studebaker's new low prices now in effect, thanks to huge volume demand, you'll find that the down payments have been lowered as well. Why, on some models, you can buy a new 1950 Studebaker for as little as $361 down, exclusive of local taxes and licenses. And the chances are that your present car will probably more than meet the down payment, especially since your Studebaker dealer is ready to meet or better any legitimate trade-in offer. Yes, I really hope that you'll take your Studebaker dealer's invitation and drop in as soon as you can, tomorrow or this weekend, and try the miracle ride for 1950. Do it tomorrow or this weekend. And now, on with the Buster Keaton Show.
Get off here, Reggie. I'll show you the thrill.
Camel, camel, to see how mild a cigarette can be.
Oh, Betty learned to skate, and she learned to ski. She also learned how mild a cigarette can be. She's chosen Camels because, says she,
they're so mild, camels suit me to a T. Camel, smoke camel,
camel, to see how mild a cigarette can be.
Better buy bird's eye. Better buy bird's eye.
Yes, always look for this Bird's Eye Bird, your guarantee of top-quality frozen food. And your big Bird's Eye buy this week is Bird's Eye Orange Juice. Easy, you can serve it in a minute. Thrifty, it will save you money. Orchard fresh and delicious.
Better buy bird's eye. Better buy bird's eye.
And now let's look at our Westinghouse program again. Let's get a better fit. It seems to me that coat wasn't made for Betty Furness.
It certainly wasn't. And there are lots of things that weren't made to fit the way people try to use them. Take this horizontal home freezer, for instance. Now, how are you going to fit it into a crowded kitchen so that you won't have to go down in the cellar or out to the garage for your frozen foods? Well, here's the right solution to that problem. This Westinghouse home freezer and Westinghouse refrigerator, both of them, fit into exactly the same space as that horizontal freezer. And they give you more than twice as much storage space right in your kitchen. Now, here's another reason that you're going to be glad that you chose the Westinghouse upright freezer. You'll never be bending down and digging around for foods as you'd have to with the horizontal freezer. You stand up straight when you take foods out of the Westinghouse upright freezer with its reach-in convenience. Now, you just open this door, and here, you fast freeze and store your foods in any of these compartments. Imagine, it's cold enough to fast freeze foods in any of these 3 compartments. Now, you can fill your Westinghouse freezer with 210 pounds of frozen foods. It's so convenient. No wonder the Westinghouse upright freezer is such a favorite with women. It saves so much in food costs. And men like it, too, because it costs only $239.95 to own this wonderful home freezer. And now, let's have a look at the Westinghouse refrigerator, the twin of the freezer. Now, it costs only $234.95 for 7 cubic feet of storage space and real Westinghouse quality.
See this handsome refrigerator and upright freezer at your Westinghouse dealer store. And remember, you can buy either one or both on his convenient payment plan. Why not stop in tomorrow?
George and Gracie will be back in just a second. But right now, I'd like to talk to you all about something. It's pumpkin pies. Now, do you know what the secret of making a delicious pumpkin pie is? Here's the answer. Carnation evaporated milk. Pumpkin pie made with carnation milk is the richest, creamiest, smoothest pie you ever tasted. Ask your grocer for the recipe. And remember, you can use carnation in any recipe that calls for milk or cream. Well, now, for instance, I'll show you. I need a cup for this bit, and I always have a pocket full of cups. Pardon me. There we are. Now, I'll put it on the table. Now, in place of cream, you use it just as it pours from the can, like this. When you need milk, you just add an equal amount of water. Like this. Pretty simple, huh? And yet, folks, carnation costs just about 1/3 less than bottled milk. So isn't this a terrific saving? Wonderful. And now there's just one more thing I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Jones, will you come out here, please? Isn't this beautiful? I mean the pumpkin pie.
Yes, sir. If you want real entertainment, the best place to find it is in front of a General Electric Black Daylight Big as Life television set. Sports, comedy, drama, news, music. Yes, they're all yours merely at the turn of a dial. This model has a big 16-inch black rectangular tube that lets you see everything that the camera sees, true to life and as big as life. Sparkling contrast and sharp focus give you pictures of such clarity that you feel you're right there on the scene. The cabinet, designed and constructed by America's leading cabinet makers, fits gracefully into any type of room. Genuine mahogany veneers, hand-rubbed for lasting beauty and durability, are just one example of the painstaking attention to every detail, which makes this cabinet one that you'll be proud to have in your home. The precision engineering and careful assembly techniques used in making this General Electric Black Daylight television set are your assurance of television at its finest. See it in operation at your General Electric dealers tomorrow. And when you see it, well, you'll know that you're seeing the best.
Some months ago, Life magazine cover featured this picture of a Juliet cap made of pearls. Well, tonight we have a Juliet cap here on our show made of genuine cultured pearls by Theodore Sulzer of New York. It contains 1,098 pearls from the seas of Japan. Each pearl was individually pierced and strung on strands of silk by hand. And it's the only woman's hat of its kind in the world. Say, if you wanted another one made just like it, it would cost you $7,500. Now, for just a moment, let's look at this beautiful new 1951 DuMont Mount Vernon console with 19-inch direct view picture tube. Well, in it, we have mahogany veneers from Africa, solder from England, copper from Chile, silver from Mexico and Peru, mica from the Malay States, rubber from the East Indies, tungsten from Indochina, and well, those are just a few. Now, if this magnificent Mount Vernon console, like the Pearl Juliet cap, was the only one in the world, and you wanted one made just like it, it would cost you $3,000 to have it made by hand, exclusive of engineering design. But fortunately, your own DuMont dealer has this Mount Vernon and many other DuMont models available at prices that really make news. After seeing and hearing the new 1951 DuMont telesets, you'll never be satisfied with less. So see your DuMont dealer right away and see why in 1951, DuMont, as always, is first with the finest in television.
Our Mother of the Week.
Mother, right now we'd like to take a few moments out to tell you all about genuine Bayer aspirin.
You know something? The two most important kinds of relief to anyone suffering from ordinary headache are fast relief and gentle, dependable relief. And genuine Bayer aspirin gives you both. It's amazingly fast because it actually is ready to go to work in 2 seconds by stopwatch, and it's completely dependable because its single active ingredient is so gentle to the system, mothers give it even to small children on their doctor's advice. Now add to this Bayer aspirin's unmatched record of use by millions of normal people without ill effect, and it's easy to see why you can take Bayer aspirin with complete confidence. So for fast relief and for dependable relief, use genuine Bayer aspirin. When shopping at your druggist's, you'll see this display of Bayer aspirin from which you can serve yourself. Take the 100-tablet bottle and get Bayer aspirin tablets for less than a penny apiece. And now, here it is. Once again, it's the price.
I'm looking for a bargain. I found one. The DeSoto. Right you are. It's the finest car ever to bear the name DeSoto. For DeSoto offers the car owner every advantage a fine car should have. It's a big, roomy car. From its smart, full-width front grille and flowing body and graceful fenders to its bigger and lower rear window, which is so easy to see out of, and its wider rear end with plenty of space in the trunk. In every detail, distinctive steering wheel, handsome, handy instrument panel, bigger, softer pedal action brakes, and many more. DeSoto is truly a brilliant car in every sense of the word. So drive a DeSoto before you decide.
It's a wonderful car. No fooling. It's a wonderful car. No shifting.
Yes, from front grille to rear bumper. DeSoto is the car to see, the car to drive.
Buster will be back in just a moment. But first, I'd like to remind you to phone your Studebaker dealer tomorrow, or better still, drop in and accept his invitation for you to try the wonderful new ride of the 1950 Studebaker. And remember this, that Studebaker's startling new price reductions of from $86 to $141 a car have been made possible by the tremendous public demand for this car with the next look, a demand that has shattered Studebaker production records. Remember that. And also remember, too, to bring with you any legitimate trade-in offer you may have for your present car, because your Studebaker dealer is ready to meet it or better it. Yes, in every way, Studebaker's next look is your best bet for your next ride. And now, here's Buster.
George and Gracie will be back in just a minute. Meanwhile, I want to talk to you about something serious. If you're a mother, you know that your baby's health and happiness depend largely upon the milk that you feed him. As I mentioned earlier, 8 out of 10 mothers who use Carnation evaporated milk say their doctor recommended it. Think of it, 8 out of 10. And remember, doctors consider a baby's feeding formula just about the most important prescription they write. So the reason why so many doctors recommend Carnation is that it's a brand they trust. They've learned from experience you can't buy a safer or better milk for babies. The next time you go into your grocery store, pick up a can of Carnation and look at it. Right here, right on the label, you'll see this seal. Now that certifies that Carnation is accepted by the Council on Foods and Nutrition of the American Medical Association. So ask your doctor about the advantages of Carnation for your baby. It's the milk every doctor knows. And remember, you needn't have a baby in your house to enjoy Carnation evaporated milk. Carnation is just good, fresh milk from the country. Nothing is taken out except water. Nothing is added except vitamin D. You can use Carnation in all your cooking, and it's wonderful for creaming coffee, too.
Love song brings on another. Let's see what goes in this romance of Penny and Joe.
When I first looked at you, in that moment I knew this time it was really true.
No longer a bird on the wing, a fancy free lad in the spring.
Oh, this wonderful feeling has happened to me.
This is the genuine thing.
Like
14K. Like the lamps that carry the GE name, I'm counting on you all the way.
The General Electric monogram is your assurance of truly satisfactory service from fluorescent lamps. When you buy a General Electric fluorescent lamp, you're assured of top quality. You see, every GE lamp is backed up by an army of research scientists, engineers, and technicians who work constantly to improve processes, materials, and machines. General Electric announced the miracle of the fluorescent lamp back in 1938 and has been responsible for many of the major improvements in this revolutionary source of light since that time, like the new Deluxe Cool White and the Deluxe Warm White fluorescent lamps that show colors in their true beauty. In these 12 short years, the performance of General Electric fluorescent lamps has been greatly increased, while their cost to you is now only a fraction of what it used to be. These General Electric developments have made the quality of fluorescent lighting available everywhere. And say, here's some news from General Electric about fluorescent lighting in the home. Quick starting fluorescent lighting is now readily available for the smaller fluorescent lamps widely used in our homes, thanks to the new General Electric Trigger Start Ballast. You see, in every fluorescent fixture there's a ballast to enable the lamp to start and operate efficiently. Thanks to General Electric Trigger Start Ballasts, the 15 and 20 watt and Circline fluorescent lamps now join the family of fluorescent lamps which will give you instant starting fluorescent lighting for your home. There's no waiting for lamps to come on, no starters to buy. When you buy fluorescent lighting for your home, look for this tag. It's your assurance of excellent trigger starting.
It only took a teensy moment
for this great love affair to start.
I guess it took something less than an instant, dear, to completely win my heart.
Well...
Yes, all right. That concludes the Mothergrams for today. To all of you folks from Jersey City and points west, south, north, and east, I'd like to talk to you right now about Phillips Milk and Magnesia toothpaste, if I may. You see, many dental authorities say that a major cause of tooth decay are mouth acids. And unfortunately, all of us happen to have mouth acids. Everybody, no matter what walk of life you're in. If you want to cut down on those mouth acids, then you want Phillips toothpaste, because there's a special ingredient in Phillips that neutralizes those mouth acids on contact, which is mighty, mighty important. Now, another very important thing about Phillips is its taste. It's got a really wonderful, cool, minty, nice spring flavor that you're going to love. It's hard to tell you exactly how a toothpaste tastes, but Julia will tell you where to get it so you can try for yourself and see what I mean.
Well, Mother, you can get Phillips toothpaste at any local drug counter, and we hope you're not going to waste any time. Get some right away, and you'll love it.
All right, remember, it's Phillips toothpaste at drug counters everywhere. Whoa-wee-whoa-wee-whoa. All right, now, girls, I'm going to...
Now that you've seen part one of Away From It All, let's turn to our Westinghouse program. One hand behind my back. Well, I wonder what Betty Fredess is going to do with one hand behind her back like that.
Come with me, and I'll show you what every one of you can do single-handed. Here, you can tune in this wonderful new Westinghouse television set with just one hand like this, because it has the sensational new Westinghouse single-dial control. There's no more fussing with several dials. You just turn this one dial, and you're tuned in perfectly. Now, in the set that you're watching now, does a channel ever come in like this and give you only sound? Or, when the picture comes in clear like this, is the sound ever so hard to get that all you hear is this? Well, that never happens with this wonderful new Westinghouse set because of the miracle of Westinghouse synchro tuning. Picture and sound come in together just like that. And once tuned, this set stays locked in tune. Now, here's something that will really amaze you. Here's the size of the screen in most table models. Now, let's compare it with this new Westinghouse screen. There. Now, that's quite a difference, isn't it? Engineering improvements give you a huge 17-inch rectangular screen in this wonderfully compact new Westinghouse set. And it gives you a black glass tube, which means that you get a clear, sharp picture even in daylight. Now, this set also has a built-in antenna, and that means that in many areas there's no installation of any kind. You save the entire cost of it. So why put up with a set that isn't really up to date and has an old-fashioned small screen when you can get this wonderful new 17-inch Westinghouse set at a modest price? Just ask your dealer for the Westinghouse Linwood. There's no other set in its price range that compares with it. You can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
Well, home, wherever you find it, can be a wonderful place nowadays with the many conveniences of modern living. Your kitchen can be especially wonderful if you get the new General Electric refrigerator home freezer combination. It's everything you ever dreamed about. A big 10 cubic foot refrigerator and a real home freezer that can store up to 70 pounds of frozen foods for as long as a year. This model has General Electric's great new Alnico magnetic doors that seal themselves tightly shut. Tiny magnets do the job quickly and quietly and without effort. A touch of the foot pedal and the refrigerator door is open, and both your hands are free. Then there's plenty of room in there, too. Space for 24 quart milk bottles. Space, too, for meats and casseroles. The new roll of drawers glide silently in and out on smooth rollers and can easily be removed for cleaning. And this compartment never needs defrosting. There's no muss, there's no fuss. And remember, when you buy General Electric, you buy dependability. For General Electric has made more than 2.5 million refrigerators, which have been in service 10 years or longer.
In a moment, it'll be time to go on with the show. But first, I'd like to tell you about the very important savings you can make on your new car, thanks to the new low prices announced just a few weeks ago by Studebaker. You know, folks have gone for the new Studebaker in such a big way this year that production has been increased higher than it's ever been before in the history of Studebaker factories. And that's why it's possible for Studebaker to reduce the prices from $86 to $141 a car. Why, the savings on Studebaker's lowest priced car amount to $91.25. And that brings Studebaker right down into comparing price range with even the very lowest priced cars. Yes, you'd better look into this matter of a new 1950 Studebaker yourself. And I'll have an invitation for you a little later on. But right now, it's the Buster Keaton Show.
Two germs were killing a little time. And one of them said, "Let's go contaminate a house." "Yeah, I know a place that's for me poisonally." So they rounded up the gang, millions of them, and bang, into kitchen, bathroom, floors, doorknobs, walls, woodwork, rails, pails, baby's room, everywhere. Until those germs found out Lysol, the concentrated germ killer, was on the job. Lysol, relentless enemy of germs. To use Lysol, measure 2½ tablespoons in a gallon of cleaning water, and death to evil germs. In the bathroom, on floors, walls, woodwork, in the sick room. Women, help protect your home against dangerous germs with Lysol. Keep Lysol on the job every day. Lysol brand disinfectant, America's largest selling disinfectant. Ask for Lysol at your druggist today.
What are you doing here? You ought to be outside with the rest of the kids.
This is where Thanksgiving really begins, isn't it, Edgar?
Well, now, if you're referring to the aroma of roast turkey, I concur.
No, Ray, I was talking about the kitchen. It looks like a real center of hospitality.
Did you say hospitality?
Uh-huh.
That's one thing we're always prepared for around here. Help yourself.
Wouldn't this be a good time for you and your guests to have Coca-Cola, too?
Yes, and Coca-Cola is so delicious, so refreshing, so tempting to any guest when you bring out those familiar bottles with tiny beads of moisture running down their frosty sides, assuring you that the Coke inside is really ice cold. And the good, the gracious, the friendly homes of America are always prepared for hospitality, not only on Thanksgiving Day, but every day all the year around, no matter who comes to call or who happens to drop in. And one of the easiest, simplest, and surest ways in the world to be prepared for hospitality is to have plenty of Coca-Cola in your refrigerator, ice cold and ready to serve all the time. It's a wonderful way to say to folks, so glad you came. Welcome anytime.
Before we look at next week's Westinghouse program, here is something well worth remembering.
Now that the world has learned how to tap atomic energy with the atomic bomb, what a blessing it would be if science could harness this vast atomic energy to generate electricity, to propel ships, to do the work of the world. Well, it's on the way. Here at Westinghouse, as men write another chapter in the sureness behind every Westinghouse product, scientists are developing the world's first atomic power plant for ship propulsion. Entrusted by the Navy and the Atomic Energy Commission, Westinghouse men are converting basic data from the University of Chicago into the atomic power plant. So once more, Westinghouse Engineering and Research chart the path of the future. If it's a product for home or business, for farm or factory, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.